Welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today and the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. It's a funny way to say that. Dad, how was your weekend? How you doing?
Weekend was cold, wet, not much going on. Watched some football.
I really got to get you to the Top Golf. That's the only way you're gonna. I mean, you know, it's they got heaters, and you can scratch that itch.
Well, let's do it.
We got a lot to talk about this week. Rick and I are going to talk about the JSU basketball game we went to last night. But off the top, Dad, just want to get into some college hoops today. We actually know who's playing in the Super Bowl now, so I'll get your too early take. And let's just get right into it, Dad. What a Super Bowl rematch we've got now with Kansas City and Philadelphia. You know, I mean, kind of two teams you might have penciled in at the start of the year, but some really good championship, or at least one of them was a good. The AFC championship game was pretty good.
It was definitely lived up to its billing, and we both thought it was going to be a great game beforehand. You know, I mean, two great quarterbacks, two teams that were really playing well going into it, and it went right down to the wire. And you know, when we were talking about it last week, we both said that Buffalo's probably the better team, but I said, yeah, but I just cannot bet against that quarterback.
I still think Buffalo maybe is. I mean, I watched the game with my own eyes and saw the outcome, and I thought Buffalo was going to win straight up until they didn't complete that fourth down play when Kansas City, they showed blitz from the left side and came with the blitz from the left side, and it was too much.
Yeah, right.
And he still hit the guy in the hands.
I think that overall the Bills may be the better team, but here's what I also think. I think Kansas City has the best coach.
Agreed.
I think they have the best quarterback. I think they have the best defensive player in the league.
That's absolutely true. Chris Jones is a man-child, and he was in that game. He was. You know, they say that, you know, linemen don't get a lot of credit and stuff, but I mean, I'm talking about, I don't see how the guys that are calling the game don't say something on every play.
Well, it got to be comical because, you know, they line him up everywhere. They line him up inside, outside, left side, right side. But wherever they line him up, the Bills ran the other way.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and not just that, he also creates pass rush and eats up, you know, blockers and still, even with all the attention that he gets and them scheming around him, he still makes so many plays.
Yeah,
and he's just, I mean, I think I think you're right. I think he's the best defensive player in the league, and I think it's been like that for a while now.
Well, since Aaron Donald retired, I think.
Yeah. I can see that. So, what do you think? We're going to do a lot more on the Super Bowl next week. Make sure to join us. We've got our little Super Bowl edition. Our guest is going to be Chiefs great Nolan Super Nat Smith, who, I mean, I know you wrote a piece on him when the Chiefs first got back to the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Yeah, Nolan is, you know, a Mississippi treasure, Mississippi legend from right here in Jackson. Had played at Tennessee State and then went on to the Chiefs, and at 5'6" and 154 pounds was kind of took the league by storm there for a couple years.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that conversation and getting to meet Mr. Smith. So we'll talk a lot more about it. I do want your initial reaction, though. Philadelphia looked pretty damn good.
Oh, they're really good, and they're solid on both sides of the ball, and they have a difference maker too. That running back is the best.
I know. I saw some people posting that we're going to be talking about him 20, 30 years from now, the way people talk about Herschel Walker. And I mean, I can't argue. He looks pretty, I mean, you know, he seems to have, he was already one of the best players in the league, but he has just kind of flourished there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I remember when he first came to Penn State, and everybody was talking about that they had signed the best player in the country, and it turned out he was.
Probably so.
Yeah. There is a Mississippi connection there because he was recruited to and then coached at Penn State by Charles Huff.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. That is a true story.
Well, I look forward to the upcoming Rick Cleveland deep dive column on that. Well, looking forward to getting into that Super Bowl chatter a lot more next week. But staying in the NFL, Dad, what's the latest on the Saints coaching search? You've been following it. I saw they had, I guess it was Joe Brady pulled out. Says he's staying put. So, I don't know who it's down to at this point, but what do you think is it seems like this is not going as well as they would like it to.
Well, I think a lot of the perspective, the obvious candidates take a look at the situation and see what their cap situation is and don't see a way they can be successful for 4 or 5 years. It's a complete rebuilding job.
That's what I keep seeing. The knock on the job is the cap space is the big thing. The Saints are expected to have the highest hit against the cap of any team in the league next season. The situation only gets a little bit better in the next offseason, and there is zero clear path to a franchise quarterback. But other than that, I feel like they're just right on the bird, one good hire away.
Yeah, at this point right now, just looking at it, the way to address the quarterback situation is go with what you got.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think
they have a choice.
I don't think there's any way you're gonna find anybody better than Carr. They're not going to have access to a player like that between now and then. So, makes sense.
But Tyler, when we look at this and we look at the teams that were left going into last weekend, there's a common denominator there. They all have great quarterbacks who are mobile.
Yeah, it does help to be mobile, but I don't think you can mask the offensive line problems. I mean, you can mask some deficiencies, even up front, but you can't mask the Saints' deficiencies. They're unmasked.
Yeah, I wonder if they even have reached out to Todd Monken. I mean, if there's even been would you be interested?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty good hire. I mean, the guy's been successful everywhere.
Well, let's look before he came to Baltimore, before he went to the Ravens, where he's created helped create a monster in their offense. His 2 years before that were national championship seasons at Georgia, one of which was with a quarterback who looked like a different player after he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think he's a heck of a coach, and I'd love to see him in New Orleans.
Yeah, that'd be great. He was near the top of my initial wish list for at least bring him in an interview. But it looks like the initial list of guys that they brought in for interviews, there's only 1 or 2 left from that initial list that have gotten a second interview. Most everybody else has pulled out or taken another job somewhere. So we'll keep an eye on it. I kind of expected them to make an announcement on that this week. So,
I think it will be this week, unless they want to do it during Super Bowl week in New Orleans.
All I can think is they're waiting for somebody who wanted to finish out whatever.
Well, just looking at the face of it right now, if I'm just looking at it, I'm thinking it must be, the most likely guy right now is Mike McCarthy,
who they've yet to bring in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it tells you where they are in this process and how this is going. It's fantastic. How long have they had an opening now? Since
mid-season.
7, week 8?
Yeah, mid-season. Yeah.
Well, things are going great. Dad, did you watch any of Tiger's Golf League?
No.
Okay. Well, it's entertaining as hell, and you need to go check it out. Okay. His team beat Rory's team last night. It was on ESPN in prime time. Neither one of us. I saw a replay last night because you and I were at that Jackson State game where they fell to Florida A&M. It was good to see them. I mean, I wanted to get out there and see them, and it was their first time home in about a week and a half. They didn't look too darn good last night.
No, they played poorly last night, and Mo, I could could tell he was very disappointed in the way they played.
Yeah, well, they had a big second half run against Florida A&M, and it was actually a pretty decent crowd, and they were into it. It was a great atmosphere.
They lost the game in the first 6 or 7 minutes. They got down by 16.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they won the rest of the game. They outplayed Florida A&M the rest of the game, but they dug themselves too deep a hole. And, it wasn't their best effort.
Yeah. It is cool to see a bunch of Mississippi guys all on the same team, though. And, it's like if you have covered Mississippi high school basketball the past 4 or 5 years like I have, it's like a who's who of guys from all over the state. So, anybody listening, if you're in the Jackson area during the game, get out. It was a good time. Man, I miss the SWAC sometimes. I miss covering the SWAC.
It's a different experience.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's so much fun. It's not, it's like obviously the product on the court is not the, you know what I mean? Or the field is not the exact same as what you're used to at, like when you go to a Starkville for an Ole Miss Mississippi State basketball game. The product's not the same, but it is, I think the word you used last night was interesting.
It is.
The word I would say it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is. So going to have to do more of that going forward. All right, Dad. Well, let's get into the meat of this show today. We want to talk college hoops again. I'm going to start with Ole Miss because they're having a rough go of it here. They started 15-2. They're since 0-3 in SEC play. You knew that, they were going to go through a rough patch at some point, but a couple of these have been pretty hard to swallow. The one that you saw in person in Starkville, what they lost, it was a one-score game to Mississippi State, which totally understandable. And then they go, they lose to Texas A&M at home by 1 point in a game that
they just
the Aggies just stole it from them right at the end. I mean, they led the entire game. And then they kind of took it on the chin against Missouri Saturday. So, without using the phrase, they struggled to rebound. Or can you tell me any deficiency there that's caused these problems for Ole Miss other than that?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with struggling to rebound. It's protecting the rim inside defensively. I mean, it's just, as I wrote after the State game, the closer the ball gets to the basket, the more problems Ole Miss has.
Mm-hmm. I thought they played pretty well. That Texas A&M game, they looked really good for most of the game.
They didn't play poorly in any of those games. They just have, against really good basketball teams, which you face twice a week in the SEC. I mean, you're going to face a good team every time you play. They just have such a small margin for error because of the two deficiencies we talked about. The rebounding and the interior defense. Just, you have to be so good in every other area in order to win a game.
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, the schedule doesn't stop. This week they have 2 home games. They host Texas. The show will come out Wednesday, so it'll be Wednesday night. They host Texas, who's 14-6. And then on Saturday they just host an Auburn. So who is...
You better get the Texas game.
Yeah.
Auburn, in my opinion, is the best team in the country.
I mean, I don't think it's just your opinion. I think it's most...
Well, they're number one.
Both polls, and they should be. They're really good.
They win. I mean, they're winning games when they don't have their best player.
Yeah, don't like that at all. I wish somebody knock them off. Maybe Ole Miss will Saturday. Dad, turning to the Bulldogs. They are 16-4 now. Ole Miss and State are both 4-3 in SEC play. I think that's good enough for tied for 4th or 5th.
What does that say about the league? They're in a 5-way tie for 5th place, and they're the best 2 teams we've had around here in quite some time.
I mean, I think what it's going to end up being is they're going to be the 2 of the best teams we've had in quite some time in Mississippi, and they're going to finish about like those other teams did in the pecking order.
Well, the league's it's really, 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 really good.
It is.
What State got this week? Let's talk about that.
They also have 2 home games. They host Alabama on Wednesday. And yeah, the Tide's 17-3. Of course, one of those 3 losses was to Ole Miss
at home
at Tuscaloosa. I mean, I like their chances in that game, and then they host Mizzou on Saturday, and I think they've got a much clearer path to moving up in the standings this week as opposed to their cross-state friends.
I think you're right. I mean, last week when we were talking about their State and Ole Miss, I said that both coaches would be happy with a split. Well, one of them was happy.
Yeah.
But this week, I don't think State's happy with a split. I think they would love to get both of these home games.
Oh, they need to because, the road just gets tougher and tougher from here.
But again, if I was Chris Beard, and I know he doesn't think this way, but if you gave me a split right now, and I'm an Ole Miss coach, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think they like to beat Texas.
Sure, they'd like to, but Texas isn't dog meat. They're pretty good.
Dog meat? I've never heard that phrase before.
What is it? Usually dog food?
Yes, that's what it is.
All right. I'm an anachronism. I got you.
I see what you're saying. I was just trying to look here at the schedule for Mississippi State in February. Yeah. Okay. So they got the Missouri on the 1st, and then it's like it goes Georgia, Florida, Ole Miss at Oxford, Texas A&M at Oklahoma, and then back at Alabama and Tuscaloosa. So it doesn't. I mean, February is going to be. I mean, you got to get these wins where you can get them.
Every week's a struggle.
Every week's a struggle.
Every game is a struggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since speaking of every game's a struggle, what is the? Can you give me the latest report on the walking wounded down in Hattiesburg? Everybody's healthy now?
They've got everybody on their roster who's eligible now. And, they won their first road game Saturday night down at Lafayette against Louisiana, who's down this year. And then they went on the road Monday. Because of the weather last week, the game against Troy was moved to last night. So they have a situation where they're playing at Lafayette, Louisiana. This is a bus league now. They're playing at Lafayette, Louisiana on Saturday night. They turn around and play at Troy on Monday night. And then they come back home and play Arkansas State, who's the best team in the league, on Wednesday night. It's not a fun stretch.
No. It's got to be rough. Does the fellow, and I can't remember his name, the guy that they got eligible, has he helped them at all?
He's got a lot of rust.
Yeah, a little bit since he sat half of his final season of eligibility.
2/3 of his final season of eligibility. He's actually, he's a 6'4" guard, and he's helping them more in rebounding than he is in anything else right now.
Man, yeah. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's like it's like college basketball. They're all playing the same game, right? And technically they're in the same league. But you go to like a game in Starkville, and then you go to a game in Hattiesburg, and then you go to a game at the Lee Williams AAC here at Jackson State, and it is like three different – to me it feels like three different leagues.
Well, it is. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's the SEC.
It is.
Sun Belt. And the SWAC. But, it doesn't feel like – I should say it doesn't feel like the same division.
They all start with an S, and they play on the same size court. But that's where the similarities end. I mean, you hate to get back to it, and we say it. It seems like every week on this show, it all gets back at some point to money. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have fun at all three. I mean, it doesn't bother me, whether it's one or the other. But, man, it's just a stark difference. And you got to think about when it comes to, recruiting and stuff. It's just – it seems like obviously the smaller the school, the harder the deal. But
well, you look at the benches. You just look at an SEC game and look at the bench, and now it's gotten to where the suits outnumber the uniforms.
Yeah.
there's like a coach for every player now.
Well, every coach is there because he brought that player.
Well, and the analytics is different. The money they spend on every little detail is so much different from one level to the next.
Yeah.
But that coach-player ratio is getting comical.
It is pretty good.
I'm going to be the second-string point guard coach.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm all about it. It doesn't even depend on the pay. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'll do it. Yeah. Well, Dad, that's about all the time we've got this week. What else are you looking forward to? Anything fun this weekend? The sun's coming back,
Yeah.
I heard a wild rumor later this week we might have sun and up to 70 degrees.
Yeah, and I'm going to be out of town, going to New Orleans. I'm looking forward to that.
Are you interviewing?
Am I interviewing?
You're interviewing for the job?
Oh, the Saints. I don't think they're real interested.
No, maybe not.
I might not do any worse.
I mean, just gotta hire just do like Dion, hire some really good coordinators and, do the damn thing. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Again, join us next week. We'll be talking a little Super Bowl preview and looking at some of the Mississippians in the game. Other than that, stay safe out there, everybody, and we'll talk to you then.